The small, wooden coffin cost more than Silas had in his entire bank account. As he stood over his daughter's grave, he didn't just feel grief. He felt a poisonous, bone-deep shame. She hadn't died from an incurable disease. She died from a preventable infection because Silas couldn't afford the $200 for a private clinic, and the public hospital was overrun. In that moment, Silas didn't just decide to get a job. He decided to own the city. Silas grew up in a world where thinking big was considered a sin of pride. His father was a janitor who taught him to be grateful for scraps, to keep his head down. For 30 years, Silas lived inside that mental cage. He worked as a bicycle courier, earning just enough to survive in a shack with a leaking roof, always one step away from disaster. But as he stared at the fresh dirt of that grave, the cage shattered. He realized that being realistic, that playing it safe, had cost him the person he loved most in the world. He didn't just want a meal anymore. He wanted an empire. He didn't want a bike. He wanted a fleet. With absolutely nothing left to lose, Silas walked into the headquarters of the city's largest logistics firm. He didn't ask for a delivery job. He asked to see the CEO. When security tried to remove him, he shouted, "Your routing system is losing you $4 million a year in idle time, and I'm the only one who knows why." He was lying, of course. Partially. He didn't have the data yet, but he had the vision. He had the fire. The CEO, amused by the audacity of a man in rags, gave him 5 minutes. In those 5 minutes, Silas didn't talk about his poverty or his grief. He talked about a future where every doorstep in the country was connected by a digital nervous system. He spoke with the conviction of a man who had seen the absolute bottom and was now staring directly at the sun. He wasn't just talking about delivering packages. He was talking about building a new reality. The CEO saw something in his eyes, not desperation, but an unbreakable will. He gave Silas a chance, a small project, a foot in the door. For the next 5 years, Silas became a ghost. He slept 3 hours a night in the corner of a warehouse. He poured every cent he earned not into a better apartment, but into learning, into networking, into building his own localized courier network that leveraged the very streets he used to pedal through. While his peers were saving for a new car, Silas was reinvesting every single penny into tech patents and real-time warehouse tracking systems. He wasn't thinking about his next rent payment. He was thinking about the global supply chain. People called him crazy. They said a man from the slums should know his place. They laughed at his ambition. But Silas knew his place was at the top. He wasn't just working. He was waging a war against the circumstances that had stolen his daughter's life. 10 years later, Silas stood in a glass office overlooking the same city, the same cemetery where his life had been torn apart and rebuilt. He was no longer a courier. He was the chairman of a multi-billion-dollar logistics conglomerate. He had built 3 state-of-the-art hospitals in the city where healthcare was free for the poor, ensuring no other father would have to stand where he once stood. He realized then that the size of your life is determined by the size of your belief. Poverty isn't just a lack of money, it's a lack of vision. It's a cage built by low expectations. Silas didn't get rich just by working harder than everyone else, though he did. He got rich because he refused to let his circumstances dictate the size of his dreams. He dared to think bigger than his reality, and in doing so, he changed it forever. What is the size of your dream? Thanks for watching. If this story moved you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that inspires you to think bigger.